she hasn't tweeted since, so I don't know what she's gonna say. And by she, I mean Wangeci. I don't know what she's gonna say when she tweets again. Hopefully, this doesn't just become a conversation that gets swept under the rug, and it's like, okay, that happened,
because that's something that we see.
On to the next thing.
Yeah, that's something that we see that happens a lot. Where there'll be a little fire, and after a while, it will just die out, and it will just keep happening and happening and happening.
Nimechoka yako uongo, nimechoka yako uongo, nimechoka yako uongo. Kwani umekuwa fundi wangu, fundi wangu, fundi wangu, fundi wangu, kila siku unanidanganya.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the 30% podcast, episode 131. My name is Sam Are Jediah, and I am here with Afam. Afam, what's up?
What's up, man? What's up? How are you?
I am decent. I am very decent. Very tired, but decent. How are you doing?
Why? What have you been up to? What have you been up to?
Oh no, I made a very I don't want to say foolish decision because I had a great time, but I guess in hindsight it was not a very smart decision. Went to celebrate one of my friends' birthdays, and it ended up being like an all-night thing. I'm talking about, when I say all night, I don't mean like till 3 a.m. then you go to sleep. I went to sleep at 8 or 9 the next day. That sounds like fun. That sounds like you had a good time. It was. It was cool. The beginning of the day was. The beginning of the night, not the day. The beginning of the night was cool. Went out for a bowling tournament, which I won. So I'm 2 for 2 now. I've played in 2 bowling tournaments and I've won 2 of them. Maybe there's something there.
Okay.
So that was cool. But yeah, it was cool. Just a bunch of cool people chilling, old, new friends, a mix of, personalities and everything. So it was really fun. Shout out to Ken. It was his birthday. He's doing a bunch of videos and skits now, which is cool. Funny stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to go out and celebrate him, man. He's been a great friend to everyone, and we celebrate him. So that was fun. But yeah, like I said, man, nights are not for me anymore. I don't know. It's the age now. Age is catching up to me. I can't stay up. Even late night studio sessions, they are difficult sometimes. I mean, I have to push through, but then they're difficult sometimes. So that was that. I haven't fully recovered because I've had to do things. But yeah, I guess I'll sleep it off. At some point. What have you been up to?
Don't worry, you'll be good. For me, nothing much. Just been consuming a lot of media. Been watching a lot of Playboy Max. I've talked about him on the podcast before.
Yeah.
He's a streamer on Twitch, and he usually records artists. So last week he had Quavo and 2 Chainz. And it was so cool to watch them like recording music, just to see the process. And it got me thinking, because like when you think about Quavo, you think about 2 Chainz, like these are people who are like, I mean, let's face it, like they're legends in the game, but they're past their prime. But you see them in the studio recording and it's like, wow, you kind of like just see why they're even at the position that they are, because they're so talented, especially when it comes to just like the recording process and how fast they come up with. Trust me, like guys, I've been in studio sessions, man, and writing music isn't always a quick process, but these guys make it look so easy and so seamless. And I was just like, wow, this is this is how it is, like on the highest level.
Yeah.
So just watching that stuff is really like, I geek out about that stuff. Just watching people record music and seeing the behind the scenes. So watched a lot of that, and yeah, man. Aside from that, nothing else. But like, I do implore you guys to watch, if you're an engineer or you're a producer and you're listening to this podcast, yeah, check out Playboy Max's stuff, especially when he's recording artists. Although his recording process kind of like it. I mean, if you
It's
watch
different.
it, you'll know what I mean. It's very stressful because Playboy is he's a bit chaotic, and this isn't meant to be shade, but he's not very he's a bit of like a beginner when it comes to like using FL and like recording and stuff like that. So the way he does things, sometimes it's just like, like sometimes the chat is reminding him to change the BPM, because there's times when he's just recorded at like how FL will open with the default like BPM. So it's like so stressful. It's like, wait, you have to change the BPM. And then I'm just willing the chat to like make him see that he has to change the BPM, or like he has to, like, just small things that like, inherently can like ruin a session. And I'm like, bro, just like do these small things, please. But like, he's learning, and I get it, like, because even me, it's not like I started when I was great. So just that aspect of it is a bit stressful, because I know how it is like recording and stuff. But aside from that, the creativity is crazy. But yeah, that's all I can really share. Like, that was an interesting thing I saw in my week.
Fun.
Yeah.
I need to tap into what he's doing. I've been seeing, I mean, almost like every week a new clip of his goes out with some artist that he's working on and whatever. So, yeah, I need to tap into that. But
now you should, for real, man. Like, it's very informative.
Yeah. That's cool. Well, that's cool. Shout out to him. Shout out to all the streamers out there. I don't know whether it's a rumor, whether it's true or not, but I think I saw at some point like Speed might have been in the country. I don't know whether that was true or not. But
I haven't seen that. Maybe he has. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Don't quote me. Yeah, I've got a couple of things to talk about today, and I guess we'll just run through them. If you are down, shout out to everyone listening. We appreciate you. And yeah, let's get into it. I think we'll begin with, I don't know whether it was last year. Might have been last year. I don't remember exactly. But we had talked about an artist called William Getumbe, who had done a song called Yesu Ninyandue, which I mean, garnered some criticism from people, and also from the Kenya Films, KFCB, the Films Copyright Board, for the appropriateness of the song, I guess. And so there was a pending case, which happened, and then so now I guess just an update from the song and some repercussions and like what it could mean, right? So, I mean, William Getumbe he filed the case against the Films Copyright Board because they banned his song, and then they also demanded money from him, a payment of like 243,200 in terms of a licensing fees. Sorry, I'm tired. Yeah, and so I guess he then ended up appealing the case, to lift the ban, but he lost the case. So the court, number one, has upheld the ban, and it, I guess, affirms the authority of the Copyright Board, the Kenyan Films Copyright Board, to ban inappropriate content and work with platforms like YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook to remove such videos. And then the judge ruled that the artist did not provide sufficient evidence to support his claim that the KFCB was acting unlawfully in removing the content. I guess on this, Afam, I want to get your opinions. Do you think courts should allow our boards to control the kind of art that we have out, or that artists put out?
I mean, I'm not a lawyer, so I feel like I'm not that. I guess it's a tough one because music is usually like just a form of expression. And as such, obviously, you'd like people to have the ability to share like their expression and be limitless in the sense. But the thing about that is though, there are limits for sure, because you don't want people sharing content that could be harmful. There could be somebody releasing music inciting people towards violence or something like that. And obviously at that point, you're gonna obviously want to censor that. So the realistic answer is it's something that can only be handled case by case. There's no fine lines. It's always gray areas when it comes to these kind of things. So you just have to look at things on a case by case basis, in my opinion. Because well, I guess when it comes to like the Kenyan and mostly we're talking about like even the African context, when it comes to religion, like that's a big deal. You kind of want to like tread carefully or tread lightly.
It's a touchy subject.
But you see over here, but when it comes to like the Western market, people are a little bit more liberal. So when it comes to religious content, somebody can release a song completely diminishing religion X or religion Y, and it won't be looked at as like it won't be silenced. But I think the West like priorities will be when it comes to like gender issues, when it comes to sexual orientation, and that's when those type of things about like not silencing but like just being moderating like those issues comes into play like more like stringently, I would say. So it depends on the societal it depends on the societal context and what people are like more focused on or observe more in their like different societies, I guess.
Yeah, actually that's an interesting observation, and how different things are considered important and could attract bans or whatever it is, negative attention. But it's like case by case and industry market by market. So, so I guess here religion is a really big thing for some people. So that's why they ended up banning it. Well, the other thing that the court did was that it said that the KFCB has no legal authority to charge for the for content. Remember, I think that's something we had talked about as well. But they're not allowed to charge for content uploaded to platforms like YouTube under the current law, especially because those platforms are free to upload, and so now a third party can't come and claim those videos, whether they're the board or not. I guess is exactly what they're saying. You can't just come and say, okay, we're going to charge you for this, because how does that apply to the rest of the industry? It's rather impractical. So he doesn't have to pay the 243,200, which I'm sure he'll be happy about. It just doesn't make much sense asking people to charge for free content. Charging for free content. So, I guess number 3, the third point that came out of that, the court criticized the way KFCB went about it. It was accusing them of using, accusing is a harsh term, but then accusing them of using outdated laws to govern like modern platforms. The space today is just so much different, and that's something I think we talk about a lot, where the legal laws that guard art are still a little bit archaic, and there needs to be like an updating for that. So like this case just kind of brings that out, where the court is like, okay, you can't be using old laws and old methods to sort of rule new things with new things like TikTok and YouTube, even though it's a little bit older. But then, like we're moving forward, so like you have to catch up, which is cool. I think it's something that would apply both to the film board and to the music scene as well. So yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that's that. He lost the case, unfortunately. No, so I was just going to wrap up. He lost the case, unfortunately. So the song remains banned, but then he luckily doesn't have to pay, and it's a check for the KFCB not to. I mean, you just can go around doing whatever you want to do. Like, you have to follow laws, and these laws have to be updated. They have to be new. So, yeah, I don't know whether anything else will come out of it. We will keep looking at it.
We'll see.
The case.
Yeah, man. The other thing that happened this week, I guess that was kind of like a big deal, was Wangeci. She posted on her Twitter or X a very cryptic post where she's like, "Yo, one day we shall speak about the Diddy of Kenya and how no female artist ever left that studio with their music. One day." Obviously, this is such a powerful statement considering we're in the midst of a court case with Diddy and Cassie and, just all the
like a major
things that
one.
he's
Yeah.
done. Yeah. So obviously that it's something that like got a lot of people like talking. Because even when I got this, it was in a group chat. Well, like one of my friends who isn't in the music industry was like question marks. They were like, okay, like, do you know more about this? And the truth is, I don't.
No.
That this tweet led to a lot of speculation, and there were actually a few names who were like implicated with this tweet because obviously people looked at who Wangeci has worked with in the past and etc. And so there were a lot of names floating around, which I will not say right now because it's all alleged. So I want to say things that are like factual.
Also, it's a serious. I mean, it's a serious topic, and you can't just go.
It's a very serious topic, yeah, for sure. So I guess the question is then, I mean, let's start with the major topic. The major topic, and we've talked about this before on the podcast, is, ethics that come with being a producer, being a sound engineer, being in that position of power. Because a lot of times, when working with like upcoming artists, there's that power dynamic that exists. Yeah. And to be honest, for my opinion, it's common sense. Like, I feel like there's not even much that has to go into this other than just be decent. And as a producer or an engineer, like if somebody's coming to you to make music. It's like not even that complicated. Like there's nothing like... what else is there?
Don't use it to,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, like don't use. Yeah, there's really nothing else to talk about when you're in the studio when you're creating. Like, let that be the time and the space to create. It's
a lot of people just kind of like they conflate, like not conflate, but like they start to leverage like the music once it's done and start using that as a way to try and get. Yeah, trying to get like
nasty human beings,
the women who they've recorded with, and it's just like it's so trash, and it's also very like, bro, like what happened to like talking to people and actually like interacting with them and then having them fall for you, like, so you have to like leverage the stuff so that, bro, it's so nasty, man. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, and it is a problem that's been happening in our industry for sure, man.
Yeah.
And I guess it's just having people be more outspoken maybe that's a way we can combat it. Which kind of brings me to my second point. Now, do you think Wangeci went about this whole tweet like in the right way, or do you think she could have been less cryptic, or she could have actually said, or do you think this is at least she put that thought out and we can start having conversations.
Start the conversation.
What do you think? Yeah.
I'm a bit torn. Number one, because I know, again, like I said, I think this is a really serious issue that needs to be addressed. I think this is something that has been happening for a while, right? And part of me sides with the people who are saying that this is a little bit like okay, I'm not going to say clout chasing and attention seeking because that's a little bit harsh. But then, like, if you want to have the conversation, have it. Like if it's something that's ongoing, then the healing or the calling out, the healing, whatever needs to happen, needs to start happening now. Put in the one day we shall speak about it, and I get it. That's how people speak on the internet. Like you need to have a conversation, and there's internet lingo that usually is used, which is I see here. I don't like it just because I feel like it's a very serious thing that needs to be addressed, and people who like her who've been in the industry who I don't know, maybe has gone through this, they have the voice needed for it to be helped. So just coming out saying, hey guys, there's something going on, by the way. There's something going on in those rooms, in the studios and whatnot, and one day we'll talk about it. Like, I don't think that does much to help. So I don't want to be too harsh to her, but then I just feel like if you do have the information, then we should talk about it. Although I do, and I would say the other side of that is maybe she might not be ready to have it, but sometimes, there's times where you just really want to get it out, like it's something that has been bugging you for a while and you just want to get it out. Maybe you're not ready to speak about it 100%, but you just want to get it out. So I do see that, but then I am on the other side of, listen, if it's something that needs to be talked about, let it be talked about now, so that if it needs to stop, it can. I don't know. What do you think? Did you?
Yeah. No, I agree with you. The prevailing thoughts, like when you look at the comments, was like a lot of people were just like, why don't you just say who it is? But I do agree with you in the sense that it's not that simple. Obviously, Wangeci is still very much in the music industry, and it's difficult because you never know. This person who she could be talking to could be somebody who is in a position of great power, and she might feel like, if she says what she wants to say, that it wouldn't be like ideal for her. But like I was saying, the prevailing thoughts were like in the comment section was that the problem with people saying but not saying things is that it kind of like propagates the toxic nature of this issue. Because there's many situations where artists know what's going on behind the scenes but won't say. It'll always be conversations held like in
closed
those
rooms,
doors behind, you know what I mean? But like nobody will actually say. One parallel I've been seeing a lot in the internet right now, when we look at the Diddy case, is people have been saying a lot about Nicki Minaj. I think there was an excerpt about her or Cassie asking for help from her, and her kind of like being like, this is just something that's industry. Or even Nicki, I think she also referenced taking Cassie from Diddy in one of her lyrics way back in the day. So it's it's like these little clues that like people know like what's happening behind the scenes, and you an artist like Nicki Minaj might know like, bruh, what's happening isn't like, it's not correct, but like, she didn't outwardly come out and say stuff. And then on a human level, I understand, because obviously these people are businesses and brands, and then they're also, you don't want to go against somebody like Diddy when he's at the height of his powers, obviously. So that's why a lot of people stay silent, but then at the same time it's detrimental. So
exactly, it doesn't help the situation at all.
It doesn't help the situation at all if you're silent about something and you know it. But then again, I understand, because as a human being, I understand being in a position where you don't feel safe enough to say something because you don't know what the outcome will be, and you might also be in that same industry, So it's a tough one. She hasn't tweeted since, so I don't know what she's gonna say, and by she I mean Wangeci. I don't know what she's gonna say when she tweets again. Hopefully this doesn't just become a conversation that gets swept under the rug and it's like, okay, that happened,
because that's something that we see.
On to the next thing.
That's something that we see that happens a lot, where there'll be a little fire, and after a while it will just die out, and it will just keep happening and happening and happening. Like, this is a really serious, and we tend to it's something that we've seen so much in the pop space, that it's almost downplayed, or not, it's not seen as an important aspect of, what's going on. Like, oh, like this goes on, and then people just move on with their lives, like knowing that it happened. But it's really silly. Like, it's not good in terms for the industry and just for the safety of individuals. And so my thing is, I know that it might be scary, and this is just me speaking, right? I know that it might be scary, but I do feel like the people who have the stories, have the receipts, have everything, it doesn't help keeping it silent. Like there's a courage that's needed there. Maybe some people have it, some don't. Maybe some people's roles are just to send a flare into the sky. Maybe, and then there's others who grab the pitchforks and go to war for it. So I know that there's different roles, but then I do think that that there's almost a responsibility to bring to light some of these things, and that's just my opinion. So yeah, I don't know, it's tough. It's when you see it online, it almost seems like it's a very lighthearted, very, by the way, very almost gossipy. That's how a lot of people would take it, like it's gossip. But then people in the industry and the victims who've gone through this know how serious it is. So yeah, man. I don't know.
Yeah, man. It's definitely a touchy one. Hopefully something good comes out of this whole thing. And like I said, hopefully it's not just something that just gets forgotten about. You know how the industry is, like, it moves really fast. So it could just end up being forgotten,
Yeah.
And yeah.
Let's see what happens.
That was a huge conversation. There's one other thing I wanted to talk about, and kind of highlight was Blankets and Wines, or Blankets and Wine. Founded by Muthoni, the drama queen. I want to say congratulations to them, because they've been going for 16 years now. Wow. And that's crazy. How time flies. Yeah, man. Time really flies when you're having fun. And they are going to be debuting their first ever event in the UK. So I'm just reading an article, and says this is what Muthoni says. She says, "This is a dream come true. Since 2008, we've been passionate about showcasing African talent, building a real community of fans, creatives, and sponsors, and unlocking opportunities across the live music value chain. Taking Blankets and Wine to the UK is the next step in sharing our culture and creativity with the world. It's a testament to the festival's power to transcend borders and bring people together." So, I mean, I think in the past, we've kind of talked about how we can spread the narrative of Kenyan music to the rest of the world, and I think this is it. So, in my opinion, or how I see this, is like the lineup will definitely involve Kenyan artists, and also I believe it'll also include UK artists, and that's big, It's a way to export our sound. And I don't know, how do you feel about this as an opportunity to kind of like, one, put the Kenyan artists on, and two, also have that like merging of cultures and music, and people like Kenyan artists interacting with UK artists who might be involved, and the UK audiences as well. Like, how do you feel about this, like, just as an opportunity? Do you think as well, do you also think this is something that could like really spread and become bigger than what it is? Or what it looks like it could be.
Yeah. Remember we had talked about, I think was it last week? a couple of weeks ago, maybe, I don't know, I don't remember. But we had talked about shows being like one of the ways that we can elevate ourselves from being consumers. That whole consumer to being actual producers of art and like playing on the main stage. I think this could be a good opportunity, because I'm thinking of a situation where it does well outside there and then attracts people. Like when it's held here now, it attracts people like, okay, we had so much fun in the UK, in the US, wherever it's held, right? That now we want to go to the home country of the event and do that. And that could be a really good way to draw people in. It's really cool, man. It's a brilliant opportunity. It's going to take a lot of work that to get it right, but I don't think it's something that they can't pull off. So yeah, I don't know. I definitely think it's a brilliant opportunity for them and for the industry as a whole. Artists who perform over there and everything. Yeah.
So here's a fun game. So you're curating the lineup for Blankets and Wine UK. You cannot include Sauti Soul.
Why? Why are you blocking their blessings? Why? All right, go on.
No, because they're like So you cannot include Sauti Soul or like those acts. And yeah, who would you take to a Blankets and Wine event? Give me 3 names, 3 Kenyan names.
3 Kenyan names. I'm going to put Njerai on there as my first name. I'm torn between putting like one of the drill artists on there.
Okay.
Just let me see. I know Brooklyn Boys. One of the drillers. I don't know. Maybe Brooklyn Boys.
No, that's a good shout. That's a good shout. Because of the whole drill movement. I mean, kind of spawning from the UK.
Yeah.
So that's a good shout. Actually, I like it.
Yeah, and then I would probably take one of the Afro EDM artists up there, because the UK definitely has like a very big EDM scene. It's one of the leaders in EDM. So definitely put.
So are you taking Idaziz or Sofian Zhao?
Idaziz or Sofian Zhao? That's a really difficult one. I feel like Sofian Zhao, she might have had the bigger hit. So if you want to draw a crowd, definitely you'd put Sofian Zhao there. But Idaziz is just as good, in my opinion, in terms of what he's done for the EDM scene. So yeah, I don't know. I'm torn between those two, but then that would be where I'd go something that's something that resonates with them, which could be the drill, at least certain areas, and then like something that's really home to us, which would be like an Njerai, and then also a meeting between the two, which is the EDM scene and Sofian Zhao or Idaziz or whoever it is. Yeah, that was actually on the spot. Maybe I would have had a better answer. Who would you take?
That was a great answer actually, and I actually agree with you on the drill one for sure. Because I think just having that cross culture thing, because also you never know what could come out of them being exposed to those audiences, as well as the artists, because there might be collaborations that could come out of that.
Yeah.
I would take Watenda Willy for the more homey like vibe. I do think Watenda Willy right now have, I don't know, they're just like really dynamic and they're popping right now. I definitely take them. I was torn between that and Matata, because even Matata like really like out there like popping right now. So yeah, but I think I'd take Watenda Willy. And then the third slot, I really like your Afro EDM shout. That's a nice shout, by the way. Or would I also take Njerai? No, let me try be different. I might. So drillers, Watenda Willy, and but there's also Costa Ojuang, because I mean, like
I feel like one who made it difficult putting only 3. You should have done 5. But yeah.
No. I'm putting 3 because then I'm assuming that the other slots will be filled by the UK acts. Because Costa Ojuang is like really emblematic of like Kenyan culture.
And just the authenticness, I guess, in his music. So you'd want that on stage.
That authenticity would really shine through. I know he would, given a dope budget, I know he would definitely
put on a show,
present something really good. So maybe that's the the Drillers, Watenda Willie, and Costa Ojoang is my lineup, and yours is Njerai, Sophia Nzao, and the Drillers, or like Brooklyn Boys.
Let's just say Brooklyn Boys.
Interesting. I like it. If you're listening right now and you think you have a better lineup,
let us know.
Tell us, because we'd like to know.
This lineup was absolute trash. But
yeah, man.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I hope it does well. I hope
sorry, just honorable mention to like either a Xenia or a Karun. I think a Xenia.
Yeah, you might need to extend that, man. You might need to extend it to 4 or 5.
Yeah,
we just have too many
mention. That's an honorable mention.
Yeah, we just have too many people in different scenes doing really good things that it's difficult to pick from just like 3. So. But yeah, definitely honorable mention to them. And maybe hope potentially at some point we would have like not just drill, but then like just rap, like good rap music to export. I know right now it's being created and that whole scene is being mended, I guess. But yeah, hopefully we get to see that. We need rap on the scene again. But that's cool. Shout out to them, Blankets and Wine. Hopefully it's something that goes well. Is that good English? Something that works well, that goes on well, and that is successful. So, yeah. I just briefly wanted to mention something that happened, which I think was really important. Recently, I think in the past 2 weeks, RIKE, the Recording Industry of Kenya, which is headed, I guess, by Eric Musyoka, chairman of Decimal Records, and a couple of other people. They held a 3-day workshop that was supposed to, that had the goal of equipping Kenyan producers with a lot of industry knowledge, with skills, and access to global networks. So it was on the 6th to 8th of May. And it brought a bunch of people from different parts of the world, South Africa, UK, speaking of the UK, and Kenya. So that happened. It's just a mention. It was really good. Unfortunately, I did not attend it, but I think it would have been really good to attend. It seems like there was a lot of knowledge in the room. Angela Ndambuki, which is the IFPI Sub-Saharan Director, she was present. Sharon Wata of Kekobo was present. Maurice Okoth of Camp was present. And I do not know I'm not going to butcher that name, but then some executives from SAMPRA, which is South Africa's CMO organization. So yeah, they were present. It seems like it was a very good opportunity for some artists to just learn like real industry insights from people around, especially from South Africa, who might be a little bit ahead of us in terms of just rights collection and everything, even though they do have their struggles, at least I've seen from a bunch of people. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's a shout out to them, Decimal Records, Eric Musyoka and his team for putting this together. Just briefly, I guess there was a cultural exchange program with Mike Akin from the group Sons of Sonics, who produced on one song. I can't remember the song offhand, but then one of the songs on Bjorn's Alusa project. I think that was my favorite song on the album too. So just sharing some of his knowledge there. It launched a mentorship initiative to, work with some of these artists and just prepare them for work on the global stage, prepare them to be outside, be in the world. And as a result of that, there would be a music camp in 2026, I think, where they will collaborate with other people from the continent and just produce some music. I guess some of the artists that were selected there. So, yeah, man, it's a very good initiative. I do hope that there are more. And yeah.
And speaking of like music related camps, I also just want to mention there's gonna be a writing workshop at the mall on the 7th of June, targeted towards like music industry journalists. It's gonna be led by Tela Wangeci, and it's gonna be presented by Support the Homies and Ahadi. Sam and I went for a Support the Homies event.
A writing event.
Yeah, like cool. 2 months ago. So yeah, but this one is more tailored towards like the journalists. So if this is something for you, there's a statement here that says, are you passionate about music, film, or pop culture? Are you curious about how to turn your love for entertainment, compelling stories that inform and inspire? You could join us for a hands-on, beginner-friendly writers workshop designed to introduce you to the fundamentals of entertainment journalism. And I mean, I believe a few pods ago, I was like, I think we need more outlets and more platforms that are like documenting Kenyan music.
Yeah.
And if you're listening and you've always wanted to do so, I think this is a good like in, because you're gonna be interacting with people who are actively doing so. So just as a reminder, it's gonna be at the mall. It's gonna be led by Tella Wangeci, who's a huge name in the space. You wanna get? Oh wait, well. Also, a huge shout out. Huge shout out to Bjorn. Because bro, he's on the radio with the chicken. Shout out to him, man. He's a lawyer. He's a lawyer, man.
I like it because you're definitely going to stand out and you're going to start conversation, right? And that's all. That's positive. That's good PR for you. But why are you on it's a live chicken?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So it's because Bjorn knows the game. He knows the game in terms of like clip culture and just like generating things for people to talk about, and
right? Yeah.
These are the type of things. Yeah. I mean, it's like a powerful image. I don't think it's out yet as of recording.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
But see, like now I'm locked in. I want to see why.
The like, poor chicken has to just stay there the whole time under the lights. It's hot. That's crazy. That's crazy. No, but shout out to him. That's a good look.
Yeah, bro. Bjorn is a crazy guy. But listen, he knows the social media game, man. He knows the social media game.
Casey was up there and he put a Kenyan flag up there, and now Bjorn is coming through with the chicken. The Kenyans are starting to look. You know that it's always going to be something, but I like it. I'm also looking forward to see the performances. I don't know what he's going to put together, but
yeah. I don't know which song he's gonna do.
Yeah.
Maybe he might give them an exclusive. Maybe it's gonna be timed with a second single that's coming out. From
I see that happening. Yeah,
Alusa Continua. So we'll see.
I still don't believe that's the name of the album. But yeah. Is there anything else we could get to music?
Speaking of music, bro, what were you listening to this week?
This week I went to an artist who I've been following for a while, and this is what I really like. It's called Mbiti. We all know Mbiti, Camper Boy. He did a song with Kobe called For Myself. I like Mbiti when he gets into his serious raps.
And we played his song Messiah Beer on the podcast.
Yeah, a while ago. So shout out to him, man. I'll just still want to see him, keep releasing and just build some sort of consistency. He's been dropping. And so, yeah. Anyway, shout out to him. Shout out to Kobe Worldwide. It was a good song. Viri, the storyteller, who everyone keeps asking, where is he gone? I feel like every week everyone asks, where is Viri? But he's almost always there, like on social media doing something. He dropped Mwana wa Mubi. And yeah, I don't know if he's gearing up for something, but it's also good to see him keep releasing. Shad Muziki released a song called Make a Week. My bad. Make a Wish Genie with Lihini Rose. I don't know how to say her name. I think she might be a Nigerian artist, if I am not wrong. I don't know. But yeah, so that was cool. I really like Shad Muziki, man. His vocals are really unique in how he presents them. And once he like teams up with like a producer who can work well with his tone and everything, I think he's out of here, man. I think he makes really good music, so shout out to him. Lelaika and King Kaka released Now Gopa, which I also listened to. What else? Sofian Zhao and Topic released Away. I really enjoy that song. And then as well as Uwongo by
Yeah, it
Ness.
was really good.
Yeah, Uwongo by Mburu and Bjorn, Bonde. I don't know how to say that, but yeah, I really enjoyed that as well. These are most of what I listen to, honestly.
Yeah, man. Yeah, shout out to Sophia and Zhao, man. That was a really good song.
Sorry, before you go, just just a shout to I haven't listened to the whole project. I listened to like one song, but then Musings by Clark King, Zawadi, and Chris Barr came out. So I'm definitely going to sit down and listen to the whole of that.
Yeah, I only got to listen to 2 songs, Hamu and Matsiga, and I think Matsiga was the one that I preferred.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. There was also Bamba Pia by Iani. That was also a good listen. Tesla stays releasing. Those Black Market Records guys always release music. So she released a song called Habits with Jofis.
Yeah.
Spin by 8th Street Gang. Shout out the Drillers. I feel like they're the only people really like consistently releasing drill, aside from like really underground people. But like drill has really shifted away from the mainstream right now. So shout out to them for continuing the culture. There was also Soul Ties by Mrumbi and Ricky Gadariki. So shout out to them. Mrumbi releases very consistently as well. Mia Flores by KC and Menend. KC collaborating with the Latin American audience. Yeah, man. But I think the song that really stood out to me this week was D&D by We Are Nubia and Zaituni Wambui, man. Really good song. Really love the songwriting. I also have to give a shout out to Yoaya Tajiri, who seems to be writing everything for everyone. Also, huge shout out to them. Yeah, because I saw them in the studio recording with Jules. Jules was in the country, had a show with Nairobi R&B. And I saw Watenda Willie in the studio with Jules as well as Benzema. So that's interesting. I mean, we've seen a collaboration with Watenda Willie and Benzema, so we kind of have an idea of what that can sound like. Yeah. But with Jules in the mix, with the Afro drums and stuff like that, that's also very interesting. I think I'm more interested to hear how Benzema meshes in that sound. But yeah, man, speaking of just cross-cultural collaborations, that's big. But in terms of this song D&D, I think it's an amazing song. It's really well mixed. The beat is really well mixed as well as the vocals. And Zaituni Wambui,
she really fit in.
Really,
she fit in.
Yeah, she's like a third member of We Are Nubia. That's real. What I was thinking. If you first introduced that song to somebody foreign, they'd be like, "Oh, this is a trio." There are, you know what I mean? Because she just felt like part of the group. It's a collaboration that makes sense, and in my opinion, was just the best song this week. The hook is so catchy, and it's a song that I would love to play for the end of the podcast. So. Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's play D&D by We Are Nubia and Zaituni Wambui.
Run. Mimi umeficha niko curious. Can I get to see your body on my body, and I promise you I will make you see such a different feeling when you put it on me now. Kuja nikuonyeshe, joto tupoeshe. Baby legeza, nikupe mapenzi. It's just you and I, bila watu wengi. Privacy, D&D love. Dalili ya mvua ni mawingu. Hiyo swali yako leo I'm the genie in the bottle, I'm not sure what to do. I promise I'll be good, promise it will be just me and you. I'm not your takasima too, cause I'm stuck to you like glue. Iki bamba basi nipe tena. Hakuna kulala penzi niko kesha. Hiyo swali yako leo nakupatia jibu. Dalili ya mvua ni mawingu. Hiyo swali yako leo nakupatia jibu. Si unajua masaa ni machache, ukionja utajua ladha yake. Take me high to the moon nifikishe. If you let me, nibembeleze. Pia mimi nikudekeze. Baby ni babe, na ukiteleza sitakuacha chini. Baby legeza, nikupe mapenzi. It's just you and I, bila watu wengi. Privacy and dalili ya mvua ni mawingu. Hiyo swali yako leo nakupatia jibu. Dalili ya mvua ni mawingu. Hiyo swali yako leo nakupatia jibu.
That was D&D by We Are Nubia and Zaituni. Wambui,
Very
man.
smooth,
Shout out
goodness.
to them. Well, written as well by Yuaya Tajiri. Shout out to everybody. Oh, and
Yeah.
produced by Run and Trevor Magak. Like, y'all did an amazing job on the track. Honestly, just want to give you guys your flowers. I think this is amazing. I'm officially, even though we've played We Are Nubia on the podcast before, I want to say I'm officially a We Are Nubia fan.
We
Right?
might
Like, I
have
am
2 stars on
the
our
band-
hands too.
For sure,
might.
man. I'm
We
on the
might.
bandwagon right now. So yeah, man. Shout out to them. Yeah, man.
That's cool.
Episode 131. Thank you guys as always for listening to the podcast and engaging in our conversation about Kenyan music. We really hope that we can keep talking about it and hope that this industry can keep growing. If you're a creative listening to this and it's your first time listening to the podcast, I usually like to end the podcast with the 3 C's, which is kind of a mantra that I've set up for myself in terms of how I can improve in my journey of being a music producer, sound engineer. And the first C is confidence. You have to be confident in your work. You have to be confident in yourself, because that's what people are going to interact with when they listen to your music. They're going to feel that confidence oozing through you. It's how you're going to convince people to listen and hear you out. The second C is consistency. You have to be consistent in both how you create your work and how you disseminate it, because we live in a world where so many people are doing so many things. It's very easy to get buried under the deluge of content, and keeping up is a bit difficult and can be a little bit challenging or intimidating. But if you're consistent and you have a plan, then you have no reason to worry. And the last C is craft. Always work on your craft. Every day, strive to learn something new about your what you're doing or your career path. For me, it's watching YouTube tutorials, figuring out what the new plugins are, like what people are doing currently in the industry, whether it's vocal chains or drum buses and stuff like that. Like, it's very important to take even 5 minutes of your day and spend it learning something new. Yeah. Sam?
Oh, yeah. I'm cool. Don't really have much to say. Thank you guys for listening. And we shall catch you in the next episode.
For sure. We'll see you guys on episode 132.
Facts.